Hello, folks. It's Jim Hansen sitting in for Frank, and we're going to do some Secure Freedom Radio. Tomorrow is the big day. A new dawn and the promise to make America great again. Also the end of our long national nightmare where a spineless naif attempted to fundamentally transform this country into a statist social democratic dump unrecognizable as the constitutional republic it was founded as. Well, that's done. And we will welcome a larger-than-life, blazingly American leader who rode a wave of populist sentiment that believes America is not something to apologize for. It is the greatest country ever formed on this planet. And the ideals of liberty, freedom, and the American way are still the best example for the rest of the world to aspire to. We are the shining city on a hill. We are the exceptional nation. We are the freest and strongest and greatest country in the world, and we should act that way. We should teach that to our children, instead of focusing on all the grievance mongering from groups that had legitimate beefs at one point, but who now share in this American dream. Well, it's time for them and all of us to act like it. Donald Trump is not going to unite this country because there is too large a segment who truly believe we are wicked and bigoted and racist and sexist and Islamophobic and all the rest of the slurs they bandy about. But it's time for those of us on the receiving end of those to stand tall, or continue to stand tall, and say things like this. It's not racist to point out that there are deep problems in the black community, and blaming those on the ghosts of racism past is not going to solve them. Children need fathers. Gangs can't replace families. Resisting arrest is not something to celebrate. And Democrat policies are what destroyed the black community and inner cities. Donald Trump said that, and also offered a helping hand, not more government handouts. We want to help you enjoy the fruits of liberty and prosperity, but that will not happen if you don't accept some of the blame and also reject the failed liberal ideas that told you Uncle Sugar is the great provider. So leave the side that says you are victims who can't succeed without their patronage, and join the winning side that says you can overcome. A rising tide truly does lift all boats. Another painful truth we need to speak about is that speaking painful truths about Islamic terrorism doesn't make you an Islamophobe. That term is used mostly to just shut down that conversation, and I find it personally offensive and, well, stupid. I have done tons of humanitarian work in Muslim countries, building schools, digging wells, immunizing children. And to say that I am anti-Muslim is asinine. I am anti-jihadist, and any decent person should be too. The Islamic supremacists harm far more Muslims than anyone else, and I want to stop that. I want moderate Muslims to prevail, but right now, they're losing, and so are the rest of us. The crazies are in charge, and they truly and deeply believe that Allah wants them to conquer the world. The problem is, this is not a tiny minority who hijacked this religion. It is hundreds of millions of people worldwide who share that desire. And you don't have to take my word for it. The nice liberal organization Pew International polled Muslims worldwide, and they found that 1/3 plus, even majorities in many countries, want Sharia law to rule everyone, and they're okay with violence to make that happen. Well, I'm not okay with that, and neither you nor anyone else should be. But saying that gets you called a hater or worse. Well, that is decidedly unhelpful. So in order to help the Muslims who are willing to live in peace and harmony, we have to confront and defeat those who want to impose their will on all of us. That is the exact opposite of hateful. It's also fully in line with the motto of U.S. Army Special Forces, where I served and which I still hold up as my personal goal. It's De Oppresso Liber, Latin for to liberate from oppression. Well, we cannot do that without pointing out that ISIS is Islamic, that the Muslim Brotherhood is a terrorist group, and that those who push Sharia are anti-American and anti-constitutional. We should not be bringing people who believe those things here. They don't share our values, and that includes the values of the peaceful Muslims already here. That is just common sense, not anti-Muslim bigotry. And the people who will benefit the most are those same moderate Muslims who have watched as the extremists have pushed the cause of human rights backwards everywhere they have taken the reins of power. Well, we stand with you, and we will help you get that iron sandal of oppression off your necks if you will stand with us. We all win that way. Another one is saying that a country is not a country unless it controls its own borders doesn't make you a bigot. It means you understand the simple concept that we must decide how many new Americans it makes sense for us to bring in every year, not to simply allow anyone who can manage to get here to establish some right to the wealth and prosperity built by those who came here legally. A wall would be nice, but a better way to stop the flow of illegal immigrants would be E-Verify, the working, existing system that checks the Social Security number of anyone applying for a job. No match, no work. And companies caught violating this get the hammer. Now let's be clear. This country was hardly perfect at the founding. Slavery was enshrined in the Constitution, women couldn't vote, and the entire country was run by white guys in silly wigs. Okay, we get it. That was certainly suboptimal. But that doesn't mean it was a bad idea. It was actually the best idea humans have ever had about how to band together and create a government that provides for the common defense and promotes the general welfare, but most importantly ensures that the people would always control the government, not the other way around. More than any other thing, that is what led Donald Trump to the White House. We, the people, are sick of they, the bureaucrats, running our lives. Hey, Mr. Bureaucrat, can I buy a big gulp? No, stupid prole, it is bad for you, and you're not allowed to make that decision for yourself. The number and scope of intrusions by the government into our lives is outrageous. And one of the first acts by President Trump should be hauling a giant shredder onto the White House lawn, and every day having his aides haul out pallet loads of regulations and edicts and diktats and monstrosities of overreach like Obamacare and recycling them. And he should run that gargantuan machine off energy fracked out of the ground in North Dakota, right here in these United States. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is the birthright of every American. That should be applied and enjoyed at the individual level, with government simply making sure the playing field is level. Equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. That's the America we need to start rebuilding right now. It will be a better place for all of us. I'm Jim Hansen, and that's how I think we can make America great again.